I was asking you whether the event in Coventry is your event or the Prime Minister's event.
It is an event that my department puts on for businesses, but which the Prime Minister speaks at. It's not the first one that we've done.
OK. Tell me why you're there today.
So Business Connect is our way of getting around the country, speaking to businesses, letting them know what the government is doing to support them. So today we are in Coventry talking about SMEs. This is the year of the SME. Small and medium-sized businesses make up 99% of companies in the UK. They employ 60% of people. But quite a lot of the time when government talks about business, everyone assumes we're talking about big business. So we have an event focused on them today where we can talk about the things that we are doing to make their lives easier, to help them grow, funds which we're putting out, like the £600 million Northern Powerhouse Investment Fund, for example. We're describing the red tape which we're removing for small businesses to make life easier for them, the support we're providing on apprenticeships, which would enable us to have 20,000 more apprenticeships, for example. And we're at the Advanced Manufacturing Centre. My department looks after advanced manufacturing, which covers the auto sector and aerospace, among others. And Coventry is one of those places that has a great story to tell. We're in the West Midlands, where there's been record investment. There's a lot that is going on around electric vehicles. The ecosystem for business here is fantastic. Okay. And I'm here to talk about that good news. OK, we'll be covering your speech and that of the Prime Minister a little bit later on here on Sky News.
I wonder how challenging it is for you and your colleagues to remain optimistic when you're looking down the barrel of a catastrophic set of local election results come the beginning of May, and latest polling suggesting that Labour could have a 250-seat majority come the next general election. How do you stay upbeat?
Quite easily. I remember when I first stood to be an MP in 2017, what the polls were saying and what ended up happening in that election. So I don't look at polls or speculation. I make sure that I'm doing my job. And that's what my colleagues are doing. That's what the Prime Minister is doing. Yes, of course, we will always have one or two people who have something different to say, but they end up getting far more attention than their comments merit. Their comments are amplified. I don't think that the government should be in a position where it's responding to every single bit of disagreement that's reported in the news. We should be looking at the record which we have over the last 14 years, the challenges which are taking place this year, and what we're doing to resolve them.
But you did feel it necessary to speak out as far as Frank Hester's comments were concerned last week. Why did you decide to do that, Ms Badenoch, when so many of your colleagues didn't want to?
Well, I think certainly as the Minister for Equalities, which covers race issues, there was a role that I needed to play there. That's partly my job. I can't comment on every single story in the papers that is about racism, but I thought that one was particularly pertinent because it was about black women. I'm the only black woman in the cabinet. It was about a fellow politician, albeit one in a different party, but it was also specifically about somebody who donated money to my party. And so I had actually been ill that day. I hadn't been to cabinet. I'd been in bed, but I saw the news and I thought that this was something that it was important that I spoke up about. And I'm really pleased that my party agrees. The Prime Minister also shares my view on this. And we also agree that this is something which was said a long time ago. The individual in question has apologised, and we've drawn a line under it. We're surprised that it's still coming up in the press.
You say you've drawn a line under it.
I think most people have moved on from it.
We only have a limited amount of time, as you know, Ms Badenoch, so forgive me. Would you be comfortable with the party accepting any further donations from this man?
I think if somebody has apologised and the comments appear to have been, first of all, very flippant, said a long time ago, I think it is fine for us to be able to accept and forgive and draw a line under it, yes. And that does mean that we treat those people as we would do. Obviously, if something else happens in the future, that might be something that we reconsider. But for now, yes, I think that it is absolutely the right thing for us to draw a line under it. And in regards to donations to the party, people keep asking me, do you think the money should be kept? I have been very clear that, yes, I do think so. It's actually it would be odd to give somebody £10 million if you thought that they were doing something bad. We think that this is
Ms.
a
Badenoch, I was
historical
asking about
comment which
future
he's
donations.
apologised for.
OK, and you've clarified that situation.
And I think that that's quite clear.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Renters Reform Bill. We were told that that was going to get rid of no-fault evictions. And when is that actually going to come into law?
I am not looking after the legislation for Renters Reform Bill, but I understand that this is still going through Parliament. It all depends on what members of Parliament vote for. But yes, that has been the government's intention. The Secretary of State for Levelling Up has been trying to fulfil that manifesto commitment about renters reform. So that's something that we expect to take place during the course of this Parliament.
I wonder why it's taking so long.
Sometimes bills take long if people have disagreements about them. It's not government proposes bills, but Parliament votes and legislates on them. The House of Lords may have a view, people may have different amendments, people want to add things to a bill. So you can't always predict the amount of time a bill might take. Some take very short periods of time and others take longer.
You appreciate, do you, that people are finding themselves on the street while this is being delayed?
Well, I appreciate that MPs from across all parties who are representing their constituents will have different views, and they have a right to take the time that they think is appropriate to make sure that the legislation is fit for purpose. OK, we must let you go. I know you have a busy day ahead. Thank you very much indeed for taking the time to join us on The Breakfast Show here on Sky News this Monday morning. We've got all today's top stories coming up for you in just a few moments here on Sky News.